Alright, so follow me here. You just get home from a shoot, you download all your video, you want to get all your selects pulled out of the shots that you took so you can start building your story. You want to get all those bad bits out, all the shaky camera footage, all the parts where there's something distracting in the background, anything where somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? So you throw all your clips in a timeline, you take out your razor tool, you're cutting them up, you're deleting parts of clips, you're moving your playhead around with your mouse or your trackpad or whatever it is. The program monitor is kind of small, especially with your timeline at the bottom. It's kind of hard to see everything. It's hard to see your framing, right? So I'm going to show you not only how to make that part of editing less tedious, I'm going to make it more fun, we're going to make it faster, but also we're going to do it in full screen mode so you can see everything that you're editing better, you can see your framing a lot better, and we can get those selects pulled out so we can get to the fun part, all the transitions, all the effects controls, all that kind of stuff. So let's get into it. All right, so we're in Premiere Pro, right? We want to drag all of our clips they want to edit into the timeline. So how I used to do this is I would take the razor tool C and I would scrub through my footage and figure out where I want my selects to be, right? So this zoom tilt guy, trim the beginning of that up, and then go through to where the drone goes over, probably there, right? And that's my first select that I want to take out, and I move that to the beginning, right? And I go through to the next one. So there's probably not gonna be anything here. So I delete this, and for my next one, this tilt up. So I want to take the beginning part out, delete that, right? And then I want to go to the end of where I want the clip to stop, and I cut it again, and then I move that to beginning. And this is my process, basically. So instead of doing that, we're going to use a few different keyboard shortcuts to basically do the same thing, but it's going to be faster and it's going to be in full screen mode, right? So the first is Q and W. So Q is ripple trim previous edit to playhead. W is ripple trim next edit to playhead. And basically what that does is it cuts everything out of the clip before the playhead or cuts everything out of the clip after the playhead. We're going to use Q more than W, but W still works too. The next is J, K, and L. So J is go backwards, L is go forwards, K is stop, right? So you can hit K or J or L multiple times, twice for double speed, 3 times for triple speed. So that's how you get around your timeline without being able to see it. Control K is going to be what we use instead of W. So that makes an edit where the playhead is on the timeline. Okay, so you're going to see how that works here in a minute. The last one is, or the last few are D. So D selects the clip. So we're going to be able to select the clip, and you can actually select the space that the clip leaves after you delete it, and delete that as well to move everything in your timeline up to the previous edit, right? The last two are up and down. Go to previous edit is up, go to next edit is down. So we use that to get through our edits in the timeline. And then also I use Control apostrophe for toggle full screen. So that's how I get in and out of full screen mode. So let's show you how this works. So we're going to show you with the timeline first and then without the timeline. So with the timeline here, we press L to go forward and figure out where we want our next select to start. And let's say we just want to get this static shot, and then L again to go forward, and this is where we want it to end. So we press space and we hit Control K to make an edit, right? And so that's our first select. So we press L to keep going forward. Let's see what else we want to do. So we want to get that forward motion, right? So we press Q to trim the clip to the previous edit or previous select, then L to go forward through, and then K, Control K again to make the edit, right? And we keep going forward. So that's our second select, right? And so you go through all your clips, you get to the end of one of your clips, right? And so we want to get this motion right here. So we go Q and then play forward. Actually, we're gonna hit Q there, get this nice drone shot, right? And that's what we want to do. So we press Control K to get that select, right? And then our playhead's going to move across to the next clip. And when we see that, right, we want to stop. We want to press K or spacebar. We want to press up to go to the previous edit, left to go to the previous frame, right? And we want to delete what's left in that clip because we didn't use any of it, right? So we want to press D to select and delete, and then D again to select and delete, and then up to go to the previous edit because it's going to move the clip backwards a little bit on you. And then you can keep going. You press L, you use your Q and Control K to begin your select and Control K to end your select, right? And that's how you go through all of your clips. So now we're going to show you what that looks like in full screen mode. So Control apostrophe L to go forward, right? And I think I messed this up a few times. It didn't go quick enough. So moving the drone back and forth. We just wait until we get a shot that we want. So this one looks pretty good. So go back. This is where we want to start it. Q to start the select, L to go forward, and then space and Control K to make that edit. And then we just go on to the next one. So let's get this backward motion. Q to trim everything out between the last edit and this select we want to make. L to go forward, and Control K to end that select, right? So what you come up with is all of these little clips that you can now move around to make your story. You can do this with drone shots. You can do this with interviews to get all of the parts of the interview that you want cut up. It's super fast. It's a lot nicer way to edit than just using that razor tool and literally cutting out the pieces that you don't want. And that's the best way that I've found to take this tedious process of trimming up all of your clips and getting your selects out so you can build your story a lot more fun. I'm sure that you could use these same techniques in DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut Pro, whatever NLE you're used to. I really appreciate it if you've made it this far in the video. On this channel, I'll be uploading videos about editing, about video production, about dealing with clients, and all of the things that I learned in my video production business as I go. So like I said, thank you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.